Welcome to EFT MBA Mastering Business Acumen with the help of EFT business experts. Learn the marketing, mindset, and skill set you need to create the EFT coaching practice of your dreams. Visit www.eftmba.com for more information. And now, here's the EFT training team that embodies the art and science of EFT. Alina Frank and Dr. Craig Weiner.
Hi, welcome to our show. I'm Alina Frank, and I'm here with my partner,
Dr. Craig Weiner. Hi, everybody. Welcome back.
So I am really glad that you came to join us today. I think today the topic is so very important. We are the directors of the EFT MBA program. MBA, as you may have learned, is Mastering Business Acumen for EFT Coaches. So it's a success program primarily aimed at EFT coaches, and we really do have the honor of working with a variety of people from around the world, coaches and practitioners, who really put in their time, their energy, and their finances into growing and starting their businesses. Whether their business is only EFT or they include it in some part or aspect of their business, whether they're a life coach or a psychotherapist or do this in some other capacity with some other modalities that they use. But despite their passion for helping others create transformation and healing, many of them, like you listening, struggle before really with the money aspect.
No.
Yeah.
No, not the money. God.
So if you have some don't have entrepreneurial skills, say that 10 times fast. And they
entrepreneurial. Go ahead.
But really, one of the big things that we see over and over again is not just we can give you all the skills, which we do in the EFT MBA program, and we tell you like what's new and the latest and the cutting edge in terms of how you spend your time marketing your practice. However, you could be making tons of money, and if you don't have your money house in order, your finances in order, your ability to manage money in order, then it doesn't even matter if you're making all of this money. You could be making 6 figures, you could be making 7 figures, and you'd still have problems. Believe me.
It's like one of those really big colanders with big holes in it and everything just keeps pouring out the bottom. Exactly.
I mean, the classic example that comes to mind, besides, if millionaires didn't have money issues, I wouldn't have them in my practice, which I do. Besides that, the one that comes to mind is the idea of the statistics on people that win the lottery and how just a short while later they're back in the hole and they're sometimes worse off than they were at the beginning. So these are patterns that happen. These are blocks. And if personal money blocks persist, they will definitely halt the progress of your EFT coaching practice, despite any degree of inexhaustible enthusiasm that you have. So, we want to cover these today, and we also say that, we really believe so strongly in this that we, as part of our EFT MBA program, if you're one of our students, you get to attend a money workshop that we do either live or we have some select Skype spots where for 2 whole days we actually really work deeply with these patterns and these behaviors and do a lot of tapping on them because, again, it's one part of your business and that you need to address is your money blocks.
You know what? In all our mentees and all the students we've ever had, tell me what percentage you think that didn't have big money block issues. Can you remember one?
The percentage.
I remember. I do remember one actually that didn't.
Oh, well, that was a student that came to the EFT to the money workshop. Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah.
It is. It's the only person I remember that didn't have a real money issue at the core.
Yeah.
Everybody else. I mean, we're going to go over the top 7 money blocks that we see, and those aren't the money symptoms. They're the money blocks underneath. And she was the only one that was just in free flow. Like, I actually don't have a problem with money, but it applies in this arena, and so it was a bigger issue. But it wasn't a block to money. It flowed to her without problem.
I'm actually thinking of 2 people, one in New York and the other one in Florida, where we taught the money workshop. And those people, they were actually in the financial world in some form or another, and but they still had some things that prevented them from maybe getting to the next level. So what we say is, even if you feel that this isn't really stopping you, that you're doing pretty well, everyone's got a comfort zone, right? Everyone's got a comfort zone. So my comfort zone showed up in a number of different ways. For instance, my comfort zone at one point was only 20 clients a week. If I got close to 20 a week, or if I went over and I said, yes, I broke it, I have 25 clients this week, invariably someone would cancel, someone would completely miss the appointment, someone, their dog ate their homework, so it shows up as the evidence of how busy you are, how much money you're making. All of these things are a reflection of these deeper patterns. So let's get into these.
Okay. Where would you like to start with number 1?
Yeah, number one.
That's
this
always
is something
the best way.
I hear all the time from my clients and our students. The idea is, we talk about secondary gains as EFT coaches. We look for the downside of the upside, the secondary benefits. Some people lump it in with psychological reversals. I don't. But there are many different categories of this.
You know what this one is? I was just going to say, I love this one. This is the ICU. Number 1 money block.
ICU. What's ICU?
I can't until.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Isn't that great? I love that. I just figured that one out. It's the ICU. I can't until. I can't have a successful practice until, fill in the blank, until I'm certified, until I get my first level certificate, until I get my second level certification, until I have an office space, until keep filling in the blanks. Go ahead, fill in some more. But they just go on and on and on. I can't until my kids are in college and I have more time. I can't until I quit my other job. I can't really have a thriving practice until I have a supportive relationship. I can't really have a successful practice until I've got more money in the bank, and then I can have better business cards and a better website. I can't How many of those are there? I started, but it can keep going.
Yeah, right. It is definitely something that I hear almost every day. And then some of these are the ones that we know. Some of them are subconscious, and they come up in tapping, like until I lose 50 pounds, right? Let's say that you are an EFT coach that specializes in weight loss, and you're not feeling congruent with that. Or you're an EFT coach that specializes in success coaching, and you aren't making tons of money, so who's going to listen to you? Well, those are resolvable, those conflicts, and they really don't make a lot of sense. I know plenty of people that are amazing weight loss coaches, and they have a weight issue. Nobody knows more about losing weight and gaining weight than they do, right? So and there are those that are kind of hidden belief systems. For instance, Jupiter is rising, or some kind of out there thing, like energetically it's not the right time, or whatever. When we know that what's happening outside of you is only a mirror for what's happening internally. It's only proof of what you're actually believing. I don't mean to go off on a tangent, but I have to, because I just shared this story recently with someone who was having this idea, this kind of conflict about why is everything happening. Why is everything so crappy today? Are people feeling that way? Or, they put that out. And I said, well, is that an empowering belief or a disempowering belief? And the story that I shared, Craig, is the one that I've shared in the workshop, which is when I first started doing EFT, I had a bunch of things just kind of crash on me, like electronically. So right. I had a coffee maker break, a vacuum cleaner break, a telephone break, all in the space of a week. And so I told a friend who said, "Oh yeah, it's such and such a solar flare, I don't know what energetic thing happening astrologically." I said, "Oh yeah, okay." And then the next week, I crashed my computer. I broke another coffee maker. They just burnt out. They short-circuited. So it was, my computer and the coffee maker that second week. And then I bumped into a friend, and I told that to a friend, and my friend said, "Oh, it's because you're running all this energy now, right? You're an energy healer. You're running all this energy, and you're short-circuiting things." And then the next week, I broke, I kid you not, a third coffee maker. Thank God it wasn't like a big thing like a computer, right? I was giving myself these lessons. But the coffee maker was the third coffee maker was really the kicker. I'll never forget that I sat in the middle of my kitchen floor, on the floor, laughing hysterically at everything that I had manifested, including people to validate my belief that it was something externally that was happening in my reality. And when I got that lesson, everything stopped. Nothing broke. It was hilarious. So if you have these beliefs, ask yourself, is it an empowering belief or is it a limiting belief when you start to look outside of yourself, like, for instance, the economy is down or the global economic crisis? Or is that an empowering belief to have? And if you really hold on to that, and if it really triggers you, by golly, I'm going to tell you, you have something in your personal history that you need to tap on that is affecting the reason why you're really strongly holding on to that belief. Amen. Enough.
Okay.
I got on my soapbox.
You just.
Okay.
You want to get to number 2? Because we got to. I promised people that we'd keep to a half-hour show, so we got to keep on track. Number 2.
We always keep it. We always keep it to 30 minutes. We know you're busy. Okay, number 2, not feeling comfortable receiving. Not feeling comfortable receiving. Remember, these are money blocks, but it can show up different ways in your practice. So if you aren't comfortable receiving, then you aren't going to charge what you're worth. You're going to have a problem telling people how much you charge. You're probably going to struggle with coming up with a set amount for your sessions, your packages, and all of that stuff. So, number 3.
Number 3, feeling uneasy about having a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So in other words, there's just this vague, on one hand I say I want it, I need it, I vision it, but the truth is that if I really picture having it, I am uncomfortable. What am I going to deal with? Am I really going to pay all the IRS tax? Well, that's going to be a lot. What are people going to think if I actually have a lot of money and buy a nice car? And all the different issues that come up for somebody when they picture themselves actually having a lot of money, the responsibilities, the choices that they're going to have to make, how they are in relationship with their family, with their friends, and their community, that feeling of being unseen, that safety that has to do with that might all of a sudden change. Are people going to expect them to be able to be philanthropic and giving to charities, inviting them all kinds of places that they don't want to go? All those different issues that leave this kind of vague uneasiness with the reality of the thought of actually having a lot of money. Believe it or not,
definitely.
That's a money block that shows up in different ways.
Right. And you said a word there that I really want to emphasize, which is the safety piece. If you're not feeling safe about having a lot of money, then it's just not going to come.
Yeah.
Or you're going to, actually I would say it also can show up in different ways, because I've had clients that had a lot of money, but they still felt uneasy about having it, and that conflict showed up in like their inability to date someone who was not in their same, let's say, tax bracket. You know, they were always feeling like, so it was like a feeling of I am having a hard time showing anyone else that I have a lot of money because I am afraid that I'm not safe, I'm going to get scammed, people are going to take advantage of me. Okay. So
number 4.
Number 4 is poverty consciousness from your upbringing. So I can't tell you how many times during a session, either with one of our students or my clients, where we go back to an event where they remember having to hide from collectors when they were young. They remember their parents telling them to pick up the phone and talk to a collection agency. They remember, as I did, getting hand-me-downs from charity organizations. They remember not having enough on the kitchen table for dinner. It was a scramble for all 5 kids to get enough to eat, and when it was gone, that was it. And so those spontaneous memories come up when we're working with our money issues. If you've got a history of not an ideal financial situation growing up, go back to those. And sometimes they were just short periods of time, like your dad lost work for 6 months, or some reversal happened, and it was just this flash of a moment where you really felt that poverty strike your family. It's important to tap on those.
Very good. Okay, next. What I would call is 6, the I don't know syndrome. I don't know how is actually more clear. So money block, there's this level of innocence, there's this level of lacking information, lacking confidence, and you know what? I really don't know how to do money. And there are lots of origins that come from parents that, children that never learned how to balance a checkbook from their parents, and they're still operating 40 years later and don't really feel confident in that arena. They hand all their money stuff to their spouse because they're of a particular gender and they were told in their family that men handle the money, or that they were never good at numbers and math. So all the different reasons in the past that, like, I don't really do money. I don't know how to invest it. I don't know how to really work with it. I'm not comfortable with it. And there was this energetic block about, I don't do money well. I know how to work hard. I know how to maybe even create it, but I don't know what to do with it once I have it. And so, of course, one doesn't really create a situation in which one has a lot so that one doesn't have to deal with it. And that's a big money block.
Sure. And we work with this in the weekend workshop that we offer EFT MBA students, and we call this is a sort of archetype called the innocent, and another archetype that we see quite often with EFT coaches. So it's almost like we can predict how many people in a money workshop will end up going and raising their hand. Oh yeah, that's me. Oh yeah, that's me. Oh yeah, that's me. So the top 2 for EFT coaches, besides innocent, well, there's 3 really. There's the innocent, there's the idealist, which is, I don't trust financial institutions, and I'd rather be, working for a nonprofit. In fact, if I could give away my services to those that really needy people out there and I didn't have to worry about money, that's what I do. But here's another one that shows up quite strongly, and that is caretaking, caregiving. In EFT coaches, we see this all the time. So, Craig, what is that?
Basically, what we see is that what's most important is other people. And so my primary job is to take care of others before I take care of myself. And in that caregiving, it's basically my needs come last. So there's a self-sacrificing that the ease of just being able to ask for, being able to receive, being able to give to oneself, being able to allow that flow coming towards you is shunted whenever there's anybody else that needs attention, energy, money, anything more than I do. It's it's a family member, it's a friend, it's somebody at work, it's something where I'm always out and I'm last and everybody else is first. And so everybody else gets to have things coming to them. In fact, I assisted and supported because I'm empathetic, I'm heartfelt, I'm a good friend, I'm a good partner, all of those things. But my needs get put at the bottom of the list. And so I never have that overflowing energy because it's always going out and it's not coming in nearly enough. So I end up being not a source of great inspiration and things coming to me. It's really an outward flow all the time. And so nothing ever really builds up.
Exactly. So that really does restrict your ability to bring in money if you've got the caretaking, caregiving going on. And there's, underneath the surface, there's resentment on your part for doing this, but simultaneously, what we see is also this interesting dynamic of, I might as well take care of this now because it's going to get worse later. Like if I don't give my kid, the $2,000 that he needs for his car to be fixed, then he's going to be out of a job and I'm going to have to. But see, that's enabling behavior. And so it's something that's really deeply rooted in childhood for EFT coaches that we've worked with. We see this quite a bit. And I was working with an EFT coach who I put her through visualization to try to flush out all of these different behaviors and the blocks. And the visualization. In the visualization, when I described like what you're seeing in terms of money, the thing that came in very clearly for her was, it's like all that money is away in a safe with padlocks and tucked away and hidden in a very far place where no one can see it because if my adult children see it, they're going to want it for this, that, and the other thing. That's what they always do. They always take advantage of me. They always use my money. So that was really these are very interesting. The last one that we want to briefly mention is the fear of spending. So if you have some fear about spending and investing in your business, spending generally, then investing in your business is also going to be hard for you. And we know that it is important to invest wisely in your business in order to let it grow. So I think these are great. And what we've been really talking about here, again, are the money blocks. What shows up generally, what may be showing up for you are the symptoms. The symptoms are procrastination. The symptoms could be having trouble putting yourself out there. The symptom could be that you can't seem to get organized no matter what you do. The symptom can be you don't have clients. So all of those could be symptoms, and that's what's going to be the presenting issue for you.
Well said. So what the heck are they going to do when they show up, when people show up with us and they've got these problems with their practice and they're not able to charge what they're worth, they're not able to, they don't have money to invest in their business, what do they do?
What do they do?
Two things. Number one, they tap. Duh. Hello. Come on. Number one, you do your own tapping. Number two, you find yourself a tapping buddy or tapping coach that can see the things that you don't. When you start resolving the underlying issues, if it's specifically focused on the business, you can work on your own. But in the MBA program, that's what we focus on. Everybody is working on the issues of the deservement, the charging, all the issues that show up as those symptoms, and then we're working on those underlying issues, but in a specific, focused way that it has to do with building your EFT practice. So we actually want to put in a little plug for tonight and also for the different ways people can get more information.
We've had 1,500 people show an interest in being on this call tonight. That is amazing. So we know the need is great to get really solid information about marketing. This is not just a promotional piece. We have a handout. We're going to help you go through our marketing matrix, And you will have this tool to take with you to build your business. And it's going to be a fantastic teleclass. And it's free.
How do people find out?
People find out by going to our website, which is EFTtappingtraining.com. And on the lower left-hand side, you'll see the click-through for the teleclass, the free teleclass. So it's EFTtappingtraining.com, and on the left-hand side, you'll see a block that says free teleclass, April the 8th at 5 p.m. Pacific. And even if you can't make it, you'll be able to get the recording, but you do need to sign up to get the handout and to get the recording tomorrow. And if you're ready to sign up, we are in full mode spring training for the EFT MBA applications. And so if you're ready to invest in your business and invest in yourself and just make 2014 the year that you really thrive in your EFT practice, then you can download and submit a application for our program, which starts the first week of May, and you can go there by checking out EFTMBA.com. I think that's
Beautiful.
It. We're out of here.
That's it for this week. Right
Keep
on
tapping.
time. Oh, keep on tapping. Bye, everybody.
You have been listening to EFT MBA with Elena Frank and Dr. Craig Weiner. To get your free report on the 5 secrets to create a rockin' EFT practice and to learn more about the EFT MBA program, visit www.EFTMBA.com.